right now there is a big focus on curiosity, right? And different leaders are calling for more curiosity. You got your authors, your Brené Browns, your Simon Sinek's, everyone's talking, we need more curiosity. And it's an important skill because it's about that engagement of it. But actually one of the biggest challenges with something like curiosity, as someone who's done a lot of this research, has run workshops on this topic, people will go, well, where do I start? It's a weird thing, right? You might just go be curious. But sometimes people don't know how to start that because sometimes it needs a trigger point for that.
They need like a lead in or something.
They need a lead in. And so for me, I've been doing a lot of this research, and one of the facets that I believe contributes to sparking creativity is space.
Yeah.
Now, let me give a different example, and I'll come back to the color space work. Have any of you ever experienced that when you've gone overseas, you've gone into a different space, whether you're a city person and you've gone to the countryside and the mindset starts to change? That is the role of space in influencing the way that we think.
You get excitement and fear, all those emotions start to bubble up inside.
That's right. It allows for almost a reconfiguration of how we think about something. And this makes a lot of logical sense, right? Because if you're in the same space all the time, as we all were during COVID, right? But in the same space, it has a real stifling effect, right? We need a change of environment.
Yes.
And that's where, with what Color Space does, bring our work in, changing it through, the intention wasn't strictly all about the art, much as that part's important. It's about the change. It's about saying, what if we could help change the environment whilst people are still in that same space? By changing that environment, it's creating these moments of sparks, of curiosity, of going, well, I've been here for so long. Oh, that's different.
Yeah.
Or let me spark up a bit of curiosity about that. And that spark may then carry over into other parts of work, of engagement.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you talk about changing of space because one of the things I tell people when I'm working with my artwork or talking to an audience member is I say, when you buy this piece of artwork, like mine, you get 4 pieces in one. And you might say, well, what do you mean? And Scott's seen my artwork. And you might be, what do you mean you get 4 pieces in one? Because I'm an abstract artist and because I'm working off of emotions and ideas. And yes, sometimes there are figures in my artwork. It doesn't necessarily have to take a certain direction. With my artwork, I design it so that you're able to constantly rotate it and get a new piece and a new idea and a new feeling each time. And I think it's important because one of the things that with Scott talking about the stagnation and seeing, you're not going to have that curious thought being in the same environment because questions aren't going to be asked. But as soon as you start to change something, it doesn't matter how big or minute it is. Once you start to change something, it's going to create a pathway, a different approach of thinking in your mind because it's new and your mind's going to take that in. And I think that's the great thing with artwork and also changing the artwork.
That's certainly it. And I think just to wrap this part of it up, it really is about, the stuff that we do, why we're so passionate about this, about change, about art, is because we see the effect that it has on people.
Yeah.
We've all, and when I say we, not just us, right? I think the general we, as in, you may have seen this, when someone's gone to a different place and they come back enriched and nourished, when someone's changed a habit, when someone's changed something in their environment and it's helped
come back from a holiday,
there's an elevation or a reconfiguration of the way that they think. And these things are really important because it's part of being human, and part of, because there's now this focus on human-centeredness, on humanity, it's about looking at the totality of the human experience and making a little bit of space for all of that. And so for us, we're really proud of the small bit of impact that we've been able to have for some people. Again, it's not to downplay what we do, but it's the respect that there is different pathways for people to take. And, we're really proud to have done some of this. And of course, by the same token, that this flow-on effect that this had for the creators, for the artists who are in their own space in some ways. And that's a topic that we'll cover in future videos as well.